So you got to do something different to get banned from a gas station.
Right. That's wicked.
All right. Welcome to Home and Away Podcast. I'm Jacob Lawrence, your host, joined as always by my brother and co-host Caleb. Caleb's on the road right now. So he's calling in for a little special, quick, probably a pretty short episode. Just we didn't get anything out to you guys last week. Caleb's been busy packing up his house, with the holidays too and stuff. Going to see people, whatever, before he leaves Fargo, and now he's on the road. The movers picked up the truck yesterday, and now Caleb's on the road trip, making that trek from Fargo to Kansas City. So figured at least to record something today and hopefully get out tomorrow, and just to post something since we didn't post last week, just to not have 2 weeks where we don't post something, because I'm sure you'll be busy this week getting the house together.
We'll definitely be able to get something this week, though, for sure. For sure. We're not gonna start alternating weeks. I know we had a plan and a goal to get something out every week, and we've missed a couple, but I don't want to make it a habit because that's how we always end up just kind of falling off. So 1 week was cool, but I think we're back on it. And I feel like either Saturday or Sunday we'll be able to get something as well. I have the laptop in the car with me and everything, so should be good to go. Might have worse audio than usual because I don't have my mic. I think that's in the trailer, but other than that, we should be set. We'll do one today and then get something for this weekend as well, and be back on track.
Yeah. How are you? How's the drive going? One, you said you just left Omaha, right? And then
Yeah.
secondly, how are you feeling about the move to Kansas City and stuff? What are you thinking about it? What's the fam thinking about it right now?
Drive's going well. Yeah, I just got through Omaha. Melissa has taken Karsten the whole time, which I feel bad about, but she said she's fine, so she's rocking with Karsten. Miss Rachel, for all those parents out there, if you know, you know. Miss Rachel's the truth. Uh, so she's been taking him. She said I've done a lot of road trips by myself with him this year, so she wanted to take him for this. But pretty good. We're about 2.5 hours away, 240 maybe. I'm nervous. It's weird. It feels more like we're going on a little trip outside of the fact that we packed the whole house up. Because I mean, Kansas City is a place where we go meet mom and dad and Riley for a weekend here and there, just to kind of get together with everyone at a central-ish location. So I don't know. It feels weird. I think we're really excited to be back around friends and closer to family. But at the same time, it's difficult having Melissa leave a job that she loves, in a place that we really felt comfortable in, and have kind of made a home. Obviously, we bought a house, uh, and are now trying to sell. There's a lot of mixed feelings. I think the hard some of the it kind of was a good ending point in some ways, just because probably the closest class that Melissa had was the one that just graduated this year. So it was, I think it's mixed feelings. We're really excited, but at the same time, sad to be leaving some of the people, and especially Melissa's job that she loves there. And the University of North Dakota State University is a great place. So that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I think people got most of what you said. You broke up a couple times, but not for like long periods. It was a couple of choppy words, but I think that's definitely
My bad.
the toughest part, is just like leaving the people behind. Obviously, like the place it doesn't really come something bigger until the people, come into play. I feel like that's
For
whenever
sure.
it becomes something that's tough to leave.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I guess to round up,
You
I
there?
gotta round up yeah. You can hear me.
Okay.
I'll round up
Yeah, I can hear
my
you, man. Fucking Iowa, bro.
Middle of nowhere. But
Fucking
to round up,
Iowa.
I guess my past week, um, we got a big win against Constanza, my former team, this week. I had an all right game defensively. I played well. Didn't score a lot. I think I only had 8 points, but had 5 blocks and did my job there and just try to contest every shot at the rim. Um, yeah, caught a couple technical fouls. Wasn't my proudest moment, but we'll be back. Sometimes it happens. Lose your cool a little bit and things happen. So, but just to bounce back from that, and then got a couple big games coming up this next 2 weeks. Shout out to our young guys. They've won their last couple games, and one of my young guys had 30 and 15 2 games ago, and then another one of my boys that plays up with us as well. He had 38 last game in the second league game. So them boys been hooping. Got to give them the shout out. Been playing a lot of Fortnite, OG Fortnite with those guys. So got to shout them out on the pod. But yeah, we got a week off now from games because there's like 9 teams on each side. So always one team sitting out because it's an uneven number. But after that, next week play on Thursday. Just ready to get back to it and go get some huge. It would be a really huge win to get it next Thursday. And man, we need it. We need it. I need to make the playoffs this year. So got to go do that then to get the ball rolling really. Uh Other than that, went a little bit of Christmas shopping, decorated for Christmas in the house on the I guess that was last or it was Sunday maybe. I think on Sunday, decorated up for Christmas. Got it right. Or actually may have even been on Thanksgiving Day even. I can't really remember. But yeah, not really doing too much the last 2 weeks. Just hooping, living life, playing a lot of video games, probably too many video games. Just finished the Walking Dead series, 11 seasons in about 2 months. That's the excitement of overseas basketball, I guess. Binge a lot of shows and you play a lot of video games. But I wanted to do something here, Caleb, because I think part of the reason you were open to recording now was because you're going to be bored. You were going to be bored on this drive. It's an 8-hour drive. And I thought maybe for the first time on Home and Away podcast, we could try to. I don't know if you've played it yet today. Maybe we could try and complete our immaculate grid today on Home and
Okay.
Away for the first time.
Yeah.
I've got it pulled up here on the phone so I can give you obviously I'll be thinking too of players and I can tell you the combinations and I'll have it up here. I'm screen recording now, so it'll be up here on the YouTube video. For those of you that don't know the Immaculate Grid, it's a 9 grid game from Baseball Reference, and it's updated daily. So it'll have, like 3 teams on the left side and 3 teams across the top column or whatever. And then where it matches up, a player from the MLB has to match both of those criteria. So I figure we'll do this to break the ice before maybe we go into a little bit of Cardinals baseball talk, since last time we talked about who we want them to sign. But I don't think we ever actually talked about the signings because that's all happened in the last week. So here's your immaculate grid today, Caleb. For the top left, we'll just go straight through it. We've got the Pirates and the Braves. Do you know anybody that would fit the Pirates and the Braves?
Top of the head, no. I mean, I'm sure we can think of one, but off the top of the head, I don't. Do you have someone in mind?
I think I know someone, but I'm like a little bit nervous that they didn't play for the Pirates. So I'm gonna skip that one for now. Okay, so
Okay.
it's this today. It's Pirates, Pirates, Brewers, and Sox down the left side, and it's Braves 300 plus home run career and less than 3 ERA across the top. So, um, I was thinking that we could do the teams first just in case, so we don't waste anybody, because those stat
Okay.
ones, we can maybe come back later to.
Right.
So okay, Pirates, Braves, we'll come back to it. There's a name that's in my head right now that for some reason I feel like works, but I'm not
What
100%
is it?
positive. It's Mark Melanson, the relief pitcher.
You said you're not sure if he played for the Braves.
I'm not sure if he played for the Pirates. I think he played for the Braves.
He definitely played for the Pirates.
Then maybe
Toss
it'll
him in
work.
there.
No, I don't want to ruin it this early. I'm not ruining it this
Okay,
early. I'll
okay,
come
okay,
back.
okay, okay,
Next
okay.
one is the next one is Braves and Brewers.
Braves Brewers. Bro, I blank every time we pull up the Immaculate Grid. Braves Brewers. Braves Brewers.
I was almost gonna say Hank Aaron, but he played for the Milwaukee Braves.
Right. No, that was. Oh yeah, so that's a combination of the two.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were
Uh,
just they were just in Milwaukee for a certain period of time,
right.
and then
I
they
yeah. Right. I know what you're saying, but it's funny still. Bro, Braves Brewers. I can't think of Braves White Sox. I can't think of anyone either. I'm fucking blanking.
Braves Sox. Man, we're starting horrible on this right now. I feel like I'm on the On Base podcast with Mookie Best. They always blow this every time. They played with these guys, so we shouldn't feel too bad about ourselves. Oh, Braves White Sox. I know one. Craig Kimbrell.
Oh, there we go.
Let's get us started.
Bro,
Let's get on
I'm
the board at least. Let's get on the
put
board at
Melanson.
least.
Bro, put Melanson top left. I know Melanson did. Just put him top left. If you know he played for the Braves, I know he played for the Pirates. So put him top
Yep,
left.
5%, 5%. That worked.
Okay.
Brewers,
Now
Braves.
Brewers, Braves.
We could come back to it. We could just come back to it.
Yeah, let's come back to it.
I have a couple. There's like a couple of classics that I go to often. Um, like I was thinking that maybe Hunter Renfroe, but I don't think he played for the Braves. Um, I had a thought of Bartolo Colon because he played for a lot of teams, but I'm not positive if he played for the Brewers.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Edwin Jackson is a possibility there for both of those teams. He's one of my go-tos because he's played for the most teams in MLB.
Right.
Rich Hill is also one of my go-tos. I think he's played for like 13 or 14 teams, but I don't think he
Right.
fits there. Craig Kimbrell is
Octavio
another go-to.
Dotel's one's always on there. Yeah.
Mark Melanson actually is always a go-to as well. So, all right, but let's keep going. So, a 300 plus home run career for the Pirates.
Easy.
Who you got?
The greatest home run hitter of all time, bro.
So you want to go Bonds, but do you want to go like for the big ones, or do you want to like? I always trying to get a little low percentage,
Yeah, lower percentage. We could go.
Willie Stargell, he has to have 300,
Yeah,
right?
go Willie Stargell.
He has to have 300. Let me see how many years he played before I send it in. Oh, he played 20 years. He got to have 300 home runs.
Yeah,
30%,
Stargell.
30%. You know what? No, what's crazy is Barry Bonds low key may have been lower just because people forget he played for the Pirates. 300 plus home run career for the Brewers now.
Uh,
Did Prince get there?
yeah, I don't think he. Uh,
I
he
think he
might
got
have, but
300.
his career was cut so short. But I still feel like he got to 300, bro.
Played 11 years.
Yeah, put Prince in there.
I was gonna put Prince, but I also had a thought of Paul Molitor. I don't
Yeah,
know if he got 300 homers. I mean, he played a 20-year career and he was great with the Blue Jays. Let's skip there for now. Let's go down to the Sox because there's multiples we can do here for the Sox that I'm thinking of.
yeah,
You've got Frank Thomas. You've
yeah,
got Jim Thome. You've
yeah,
got Ken Griffey Jr.
yeah.
I don't know if Paul Konerko had 300 home runs. He was a pretty good home run hitter and he played a long career, but I don't know if he had 300 for sure.
Either
I'm just talking about
Adam
guarantees right now that I
Adam
know.
Dunn,
Adam
Adam Dunn,
Dunn. Adam Dunn would be
Adam
probably
Dunn.
a low one, probably.
Adam
Let's go
Dunn would
Adam
have been a
Dunn.
good Pirates one. Didn't he play for the Pirates?
I don't know. I don't remember him with the Pirates. I remember him
Or
with the
maybe just the
Nationals, the
Reds.
Reds, and the White
Yeah,
Sox.
yeah. Let's go Adam Dunn.
I put him in there. 4%. Pretty good.
Hell
5% for
yeah.
Melanson, by the way. 13 for Kimbrel. 30 for Willie. Um, so we skipped everything with the Brewers so far. Maybe we can go to the right and we can do a sub-3 ERA season. And there's no innings requirement on this. So I'm kind of thinking of a different type of. You're probably thinking of starters right now, right? Sub-3
You're thinking
ERA.
of relievers.
I'm thinking
You're thinking of
relievers.
relievers.
Josh Hader for sure has had a sub-3 ERA season with them.
Yeah, put Josh Hader in there for the Brewers.
Because at first I was thinking Burns, but I was like, I bet Hader has a lower. He's 12%. Not bad. Not bad. Pirates is tough because there's not a lot of great pitchers from the Pirates. But I was thinking that maybe David Bednar, he's had like back-to-back all-star seasons, and like a lot of closers have lower ERA. So there's a
Right.
possibility he could have a sub-3 ERA. Garrett Cole, I think, had a 200 strikeout season with them, but I doubt he was sub-3 ERA. That's really low. He was young. If you want to go down to the White Sox, though, we can go down there. Anybody you've got for that?
I feel like he probably didn't, but I want to say Mark Burley just because that's our guy. But he
Local
probably never
guy.
had a sub. Yeah.
I was thinking
Uh,
maybe no, I guess Liam Hendricks had his better year with the A's, huh? Before he went to the Sox.
yeah, I
I say
think
he had like
so.
a lights out season.
But he was an All Star with the White Sox too, wasn't he?
I think he was. Liam Hendricks maybe
Trying to
would be a good one. Mark Burley, like you said, maybe he had sub-3, but that's not, and it has to be,
with
yeah,
that
it
team.
has to be with that team. Because I was gonna say maybe
Did
we could go with somebody that only played for them for a little bit.
uh fuck, who am I thinking of?
Dylan Cease, nah. Maybe that's who you're
No,
thinking
not
of,
John
but
Cease. No. Didn't
Jack.
was
Hey,
it
they had it. They have one Cy Young, I think, ever. His name's Jack McDowell, and I only know that from playing this game. We could throw him in there.
I mean Cy Young chance he was under three.
His name's Jack McDowell, and I had no idea who he was until I started playing this religiously. And they kept asking me White Sox Cy Young, and I was like, "There's nobody I can think of." I kept guessing Burley, and he kept coming up, and then finally his name got stuck into my head. When we try him,
Yeah, try his ass. Because I can't think of anyone.
10%, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
So
Okay, so
Pirates
what do
now
we
we're
got
back.
left?
We've got Pirates sub-3 ERA, Brewers 300 plus home run career. I'm trying to remember the number. I really think it's over 3 because Prince Fielder and his dad have the same amount of home runs in their MLB career.
I think Prince Fielder has over 300 home runs. I think for
Yeah.
sure.
You know who else played for the Brewers who probably has over 300? I'm pretty sure played for the Brewers, bro. Don't quote me on this. I think Jim Edmonds played for the Brewers.
Really?
I think so, bro. I almost want to put him in just to see.
Do it.
He had 300, right? For sure. Bang,
Yeah.
0.6%, baby. That's how you do it right
Hell
there.
yeah.
0.6. Okay.
What do we have?
Sub 3 ERA Pirates and then a Brewers and Braves player.
Brewers, Braves, and sub three Pirate.
I want us to try and guess somebody for Brewers Braves before I go to the sub 3. Oh,
No,
Brewers
go
Braves.
with.
I have a Brewers Braves one. Josh Donaldson.
Oh yeah. And then
Okay, so sub 3.
uh
My thought was David Bednar, but I don't
yeah,
know.
I think that's right. I go with that. Go with that.
Only because he's been really good the last 2 years. He's been
Yeah,
probably the
go with that,
best
bro.
thing there.
Trust the gut.
But
Trust your gut, bro. Put it on there.
bro, there's got to be a better starter or something. Like they have a Cy Young winner. They probably have at least one in their history, but like I can't think of anybody like any great starting pitchers besides dudes that they traded away or something.
Right. Uh Trying to think of like pitchers that they had when we were younger.
They never really had like some big ace, I don't think. I mean, they never were that good when we were kids.
Yeah, they were ass usually.
I'm gonna just put in Bednar. If we don't win, we don't win. At least we made it to the 8, made it to the final one.
We're gonna
Flawless so
win, bro.
far. Yes, sir. We won it and we had a sub 100 rarity score. I love it.
Yes,
Take
sir.
a look at Garrett Cole did have a sub 3 ERA with the Pirates, bro.
Hell
Barry
yeah.
Bonds was the number one answer, but I think Stargell was probably 2. Prince Fielder was the number one answer on the Brewers one. So I don't know. Hank Aaron did play for the Brewers, bro.
He did.
I just knew he played for the Milwaukee Braves and the Atlanta Braves, but I didn't know he actually went to the Brewers too.
Hey, you know who I thought of that was sub three, probably a sub three for the Brewers was CC Sabathia.
Yeah, that'd be a good one because there was no innings requirement too because he went there halfway through the season, didn't he?
Yeah, and
And
he just fucking
he went
dominated for
crazy.
them.
Yeah, hit a bomb too because he'd been in the
Yeah,
American League up until then.
yeah.
All right, but going forward now, let's keep it on a little bit of baseball talk since we're here. What are our thoughts? I mean, we talked about who we wanted from the Cardinals. They said they were gonna. They said they were gonna sign 3 starters, and they did. Um, I mean, we got the second in AL Cy Young voting, Sonny Gray, to be our ace moving forward. And then we picked up some, middle bottom of the rotation guys and Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. And then obviously we retain Miles Michaelis still, and we retain Steven Matz. Thoughts on these 3 starters that Mo promised and who he ended up getting?
Um, Sonny Gray, I feel like I'm happier with than a lot of Cardinals fans probably. I don't think he's the best option that was out there, obviously, but had a great year. I think even though he's been up and down, like it's somebody that can bring some fire to the staff a little bit, bring a little bit of excitement, hopefully. Other than that, it's not super exciting. I mean, you basically have Miles Michaelis staying as your number 2 starter now, which isn't great, especially after last year. I think Lance Lynn has potential to be one of those guys who like comes back to the Cardinals later in his career and could be really good. Obviously, he's been not very good last year specifically, but you never know. Like you get him back in the Cardinals jersey, maybe he decides to play well, and that could be really exciting having him come back and
He
after
was
feeling like we kind of gave him away. Yeah,
he was great
like
when he first left the Cardinals, I remember. And then like he had
right,
a couple really good years with the
right.
White Sox too.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just bad last year, which so I think he could return to form and being back in St. Louis might be good for him. But I guess technically Mo signed 3 pitchers. Sonny Gray brings me some excitement, but other than that, man, it's kind of a bummer.
I
But
saw
it's just, at the same time, it's what you expect it to be.
Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Miles Michaelis are all 3 in the top 5 most hits allowed this year in the MLB.
Yeah,
And
like it's not great.
Lance Lynn gave up the most homers in the MLB last year. So I mean, it's interesting signings, but I mean, it's better than what we had. I will say that it's better than the 5 we were
Yeah,
running out
for sure,
there this past year,
for sure. I
day
hope
in
we
and
sign
day
somebody
out.
else to get Steven Matz back to the bullpen. I feel like Matz was pretty good out of the bullpen. So if we could get
I
one more starter, that would be nice.
I'll also say this, dude. I wish I. It's just never looking like it's gonna happen that like Liberatore is gonna make that jump.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
he's still
I wish
young,
he
but
would have.
like it's like what 2 years ago he made his debut, and it was like, oh, there's a lot of promise. And then like he kind of made it at the same time as Gorman because there was that story, that they were friends and everything.
Right.
Gorman showed flashes here and there. And then last year was kind of his breakout season. I mean, he only hit like 240, but I think he might have had 30 plus bombs, something like that. Like he had a lot of pop in his bat, and it kind of showed it a little bit. And it was probably one of our best bats on our team last year. And Liberatore kind of was up and down and mostly just out of the pen, I think. Started a few games here and there, but the fact that we gave up a Rose Arena for him, like it's looking like a really lopsided trade so far.
For sure.
And I like the Sonny Gray pickup. I mean, it's a good start. I mean, it's a dude that finished second in Cy Young voting, and I think and then the year before that, I think maybe he wasn't great, but maybe the year before that, I think he maybe finished top 10 as well in Cy Young voting. Obviously, it wasn't like a Blake Snell, like a 2-time Cy Young winner, but at the same time, Blake Snell has like I think he led the league in walks last year as well. Okay, like he strikes out 200 guys every year, but leads the league in walks like multiple times I think in his career. Not a great command
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
I don't think that's exactly what our team needs right now either. And the rumors are right now, which I don't know. I mean, it's just rumors, but that we're still shopping around some guys because the Sonny Gray contract gave us a little wiggle room, supposedly. And we're still trying to shop around some guys and trying to get rid of like Mats and then maybe some of our outfield depth, maybe like an O'Neill or a Carlson or something. and trying to go after like a Tyler Glass now. Which, hey, if you put
That'd
Tyler
be
Glass now
great.
in that rotation now, remove Mats, get rid of a little bit of that outfield depth. That I mean, it's a lot of young guys that maybe have some potential still there. Like Carlson, I think is maybe 25. Um, Carlson's maybe 25. O'Neal's had like 2 seasons ago. He had his breakout season last year, wasn't very good. Guy that can't really stay healthy. And now we've been playing Edmund in the outfield. So maybe if we keep him even, because we know he can play a little bit everywhere, and he was great in center field for us this year. Hey, if we could get Glasnow in there, now you're talking about a 1-2 punch Glasnow and Sonny Gray. Then I like it.
Two
Then you
guys,
got
two guys that have. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, then you got Lance Lynn on a third day, and you got Miles Michaelis on a third day and Lance Lynn on a fourth, and like those are guys that it's not gonna be. I mean, they're not gonna just be easy games or something. Like they're gonna make you work for it for sure.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I would like that.
You get Sonny Gray and Tyler Glass now at the top of your rotation, and all of a sudden you're now a rotation that has two guys that have legitimately competed for Cy Young award, and I mean, that's big. That's kind of what you need to have in order to be competitive. So I don't know. I think there's still opportunity. It's just I don't have a lot of faith that we're gonna do something really exciting.
Yeah, I've got my Cardinals shirt on right now too, so I'm still wishful. I'm still wishful about it, and I hope that maybe Arenado returns to a little bit better form next year, along with Goldie, maybe getting back to that MVP caliber. I don't know if he will. Um, and then also, I wish the Cardinals would put a little bit more faith in Contreras. If you look at his numbers, he really wasn't as
Yeah,
bad as people were making him out to be. Not even close to
he
as bad
just
as people
he
made
just
him out to
struggled.
be.
Yeah, he just struggled at the beginning, and
He just
people
struggled
lost their
early,
mind.
and they wouldn't let
Yeah.
him play catcher, and then there was all this drama about, oh, pitchers don't like him and whatnot, and it's like, man, this guy never had. I never heard anything about Wilson Contreras, not being able to play catcher when
No,
he was in Chicago,
never, never.
and now he comes here and there's all these rumors. So just to put a little more faith in him, I think, and let him play behind the dish, try and get somebody maybe to be a legit DH or something. That's also a problem. We haven't had one of those yet since they made this international DH or whatever. So
Well, I think as they get older, I mean either Goldschmidt or you almost could alternate Goldschmidt and Arenado in that role, but like you have to have someone consistently comfortable to play the other two positions,
mhm.
like so that's I don't know, but
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know. I
maybe if you did, like, they're both just such good defenders though too. They're Gold Glove caliber guys, so I think that's what makes it
right,
tough to take them out of those positions right now. Like you said, maybe if it gets to like Arenado had a big decline defensively last year. I mean, it was his first year ever not winning a Gold Glove. I don't even think he was a finalist. I'm not sure,
yeah,
but
it
I don't
was.
think he was.
I mean,
But
not
like,
having a Cardinal win a Gold Glove was very unusual, bro. That was weird.
yeah, I think Edmund was up for the utility one
Yeah,
finalist. But I don't really know if anybody else was really even a finalist for it, which is crazy because I think 2 years ago we had like 7 Gold Glovers or something like that. Something
yeah, we were going.
crazy.
The
I think it
defense
was
went
like
crazy the
it was
year.
like Edmund, O'Neal, Arenado, Goldie. Yeah,
Brendan Donovan won the utility
Donovan
one.
won utility. Yeah, it was a crazy year. I
It
mean,
was
you
crazy,
have
man.
young guys too, like Jordan Walker coming up, and like you're hoping that he's going to outlast Arenado and be here for a long time too. And he's traditionally a third baseman, but like they're trying to move to the outfield, and you can tell he doesn't look comfortable out there. Maybe it's
Right,
something where you continue to play him there on occasion and let Arenado DH just to get him off his feet a little bit more. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
sure. Bro, I love Jordan Walker though. That's an exciting person to have
Yeah,
coming up in the organization.
I think that's the one guy that to me is like untouchable right now on the team that I don't want them
Yeah,
to trade at
for sure,
all. Is Jordan Walker
for
just because like
sure.
the excitement he brings and the like the potential is all there. He has all the tools.
Yeah, he
But
uh
moving
he gets me excited for sure.
for sure. So moving forward, I was trying to think of some cool, not cool topics. Um, there was a couple things I wanted to discuss on here. I think we're both going to agree on them, so maybe they're just one's maybe a super not cool and one's maybe a super cool. Um,
Okay.
but the first thing I was going to talk about is the reaction to the Colorado Buffaloes season, first season under Deion Sanders. The reaction has been pretty negative because they only won 4 games. And to you, is that negative reaction? Is that cool, not cool? Maybe is that warranted or not warranted to you? Because to me, it's not.
Uh, I don't think it's warranted. Like they weren't supposed to be good.
Like they
I
won
don't.
one, they won 1 game last year. I don't even want to look up and see what sorry school it was that they
Right.
beat last year. And they didn't have a single sellout. And now I think they sold out every single home game and won 4 games. Okay. And like he said, this is the year to beat him. Like it's not going to be like, I mean, Matt Rule came into a
Nebraska.
Nebraska program that won 5 games last year and was supposed to turn it around, and they won 5 games again this year. I don't see nearly as many people talking about that.
No,
You
I
know what I
think.
mean?
Yeah, I think it's pretty unwarranted. I think anytime you have someone who does a really good job of like promoting their school and has their own strong brand, like when people get a chance to take shots at them because something doesn't go well, then they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, like he didn't say they were going to come out and win a national championship. Like nobody said that.
Yeah,
Everybody overreacted when they beat a TCU team to start the year, and like
because they
I
were
mean, I did
ranked.
the same thing. It was exciting, and they were throwing the ball all over the place, and it was exciting to watch. But then they just had a better year than they did last year, and around what kind of people thought they were going to have this year, and people lost their mind about it. But the one thing that like I'm concerned about with them, I'm pretty sure I saw that like both of their upcoming quarterback commits that were like high recruits, both decommitted.
Decommitted.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
saw. Yeah, that's the only
yeah.
thing
So
I saw that too, and I don't know what all that's about. Maybe they thought they were gonna have a better season, but like as a recruit, I feel like if you're going there for prime. Like you're going there because
right.
Dion's the coach. Like you're not necessarily even going there because it's like some prestigious program. Like it's Colorado. If you're a 5-star recruit, you can go to
Exactly.
Alabama, the Georgias of the world. I mean, any of the SEC schools that are historic that you think about whenever you think football. Whereas, like, hey, at least Nebraska is a historic program. Like that should be easier to even get
Yeah.
kids
Exactly.
there. Like they've built
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
some history there, and their facilities are insane. Um,
For sure.
but I think what he's building there at Colorado is just going to take some time. Like it might not even be 2 or 3 years from now until they're like really competitors and they're really like top 25, like ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did, they did have two one. I was looking at their scores the other day because I was like, man, I don't think they got beat that bad in any of the games besides the Oregon game. And I looked it up and they really didn't. They had a lot of close games. They had a lot of close games, and they had a one-score game against Arizona, who was ranked in the top 25, and a one-score game against USC, who was ranked in the top 25. And so I was just like, they're maybe not as far off as people think they are. They win those 2 games. They win those 2 games this year. They're bowl eligible. You know what I mean? Like if they win a
Yep.
couple one-score games, they're bowl eligible. That's one ball going their way or something.
Yep.
But moving on from that, I think we're both going to be majority cool on this. But the reports are coming out. I don't know if you saw the shock drop today for the reverse Grinch Kobe's that are coming out. Cool or not cool that they're releasing a large quantity, supposedly 300,000 plus pairs of the reverse Grinch Kobe's sixes.
I think it's really cool. I I get it's hard because like at the same I feel two different ways about sneakers. Like one, the exclusivity of sneakers is really cool, but like at the same time, I like when there's a situation where like if you want the sneakers, you can get the sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many pairs that are people are excited about, and it turns out they release like less than 100,000 pairs. Like you're just not getting those unless you want to
Yeah.
spend 5 times the amount like to get them, and that just like that sucks because there's people who love sneakers and want to get sneakers and whatever, and they just don't have the means to do that. especially with so many bots and stuff like that that are in place. And I know Nike's put measures in place to try and prevent that, but there's just, I don't know. There's people who have plugs and have ways of getting shoes, and obviously spend a good amount of money for that, which respect to them that they have the means and are willing and able to do that. But when it's a situation where a lot of people can get shoes, especially when it's something like Kobe's right now, where for a while it looked like there was never going to be Kobe's coming back out, and it slowly started to trickle, like super slowly started to trickle. You had the big release on his or on Kobe Day this year, and like that was great. You saw what was it like 4 old pairs got re-released, and now you're seeing the reverse Grinches, and there's supposed to be even more coming in 2024. So now to see Kobe's come out, like I hope as many people as possible can get them. I would love to get a pair of Kobe's at some point to hoop in, but like I don't hoop that much anymore.
Mhm.
I'm 29 years old, and there's no reason for me to get like cool shoes to hoop in. But I just like to wear cool shoes that I like, so maybe that would be why.
Yeah. I think the thing about Kobe's that's bugged me over the last, what's that, 4 years since his death is like the week that he died, the jump in Kobe prices just went insane. Everybody was sell,
Right,
sell, sell. All the sneaker groups I'm on, it was just I started seeing Kobe posts repeatedly. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they really are just like making a bag off this dude's death, which is sad.
right.
Um, and then like the Nike thing, of course, happened where they had to figure out the partnership again, and his wife ended up like settling all that up because at first there was going to be like no renewal of the partnership or whatever. And I think
Yep.
Nike probably thought to themselves like, hey, we're kind of dumb if we don't do this, and we can do it for his family, and like they continue to like build his legacy and make some money off him and in the afterlife and everything, like kind of Nike way as like, okay, you've been part of our family for this long, now we're gonna help out your family now you're gone. um
Right.
but I just miss the days that like the Kobe releases were like I mean, still, bro, everybody buys them to hooping, bro. I've never seen somebody just wearing Kobe's walking around the street. Like, okay, back in the day, people used to do that because like that was whenever it was like cool to wear performance basketball shoes, just like walking around. Like if you had some KD fours or some Kobe's or some bronze, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it was
Right.
tough if you was
Yep.
just walking around in them. Um, but like nowadays, like these dudes on my sneaker group buy their Kobe's and I feel like they just sell them, or maybe some of them wear them. I don't know. Some people wear like the Mambasita ones, which were
Yep.
like white and black. So I was like, okay, those are definitely like wearable. You can just rock those around or whatever, easily. You rock those with like a Nike Tech or just like a chill little fit or something.
Right.
But I don't know, like the Grinches. I feel like I only see those on basketball courts, and those supposedly had a lot of stock as well. I mean, you see them everywhere, but people are still selling them for a ridiculous price. And I'm just hoping these reverse Grinches are just a sign of things to come in the future, just bigger drops from these Kobe releases. I wish they had a little bit more frequent drops because, like, when they first started doing those Protros back in the day with, like, I think they Protroed the ones or the twos first,
Yep.
like, they
Yep.
were coming out with a lot more colorways and they were, like, dropping them a lot more frequently. And like I remember they were like low key, you could get them under retail, like you get them in the outlets and stuff. I was like, man, I miss those days whenever it's just like a normal shoe. You could go on Nike. Like I remember when I was in college, I could just go on Nike and be like, man, I want to hoop in some Kobe's, and I could just look up Kobe's and see what they had. They had that was
They
when they had like
always
the
had
Kobe
something,
80s,
bro.
Kobe
Yeah.
11s, the
Yep.
whatever. Always was something, or you could just go on eBay and find somebody selling a new pair for like under retail or right at retail. So
Yep.
I'm hoping that's a sign of things to come for the future because basketball shoes are made to be played basketball in and beat up. Like, and if you're paying $500+, like it's not, you don't feel like you can do those things sometimes, on sneakers. And I'll never pay that for a pair of basketball shoes because I know how bad I tear mine up. You know what I mean? So that'll never
Right.
be something I do. But I hope this is a sign of things to come in the future. Some bigger drops, less exclusive. More people can get their hands on them. They're actually going to use them to hoop and things like that.
Do you still have
So
the do you still have the Kobe fives that I got you?
yeah, I still have them. They're upstairs in my bedroom at home because I wore them that one year and then I just was like, I don't know if I want to keep wearing them because they're like still in pretty good shape because I didn't want to wear them like every day when I had them.
They
So they're
hurt
still in,
your feet too, right? Toe.
they were at first, but then the more I wore them, I think maybe they just need to like stretch out a little bit, form my foot a little bit. They were hurting my toes at first though
Oh,
when I
okay.
first started wearing them. like my feet were hurting in them, but not anymore. Like not the whenever I kept wearing them later in the season. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll never get rid of those. I'll just keep those, and then I'll probably hoop them again one day, maybe when I'm retired or something. They'll be in the rotation or something. But I didn't want to beat them up too bad. You know what I mean? They have some
Yep,
scuffs for
for
sure
sure.
on them and stuff, but I just didn't want to like destroy them. I was thinking though, because my Stewies, I had a blowout in my Stewies, and I was thinking about having Riley bring them to me, but I don't know. She's already bringing me enough stuff, so I probably won't do that. Puma settled up with me on those Stewies. I sent them a thing. I was like, yeah, like okay, like this is I didn't buy this from you because I bought it from like a German basketball shoe, like retailer called
Yep.
Kicks, and I hit up Puma and was like, "Yo, like," because I heard that other people been having these same problems with these shoes. So I was like, "Okay, for sure they've been getting these emails. I'm sure they've been giving some people like some gift cards at least or something." And I was like, send
Right.
them pictures, everything explained. I was like, I probably wore those like 20 times and they busted completely through. And I've never had a pair of shoes do that to me in my life. So I was like, this has to be like manufacturer issue. You know what I mean? So I hit them
Yep.
up and they were like talking to me back and forth a little bit. And then they're like, oh, usually you have to go through the merchant you bought it through, and since we didn't buy it, but since we value your business or whatever, we'll give you a $40 gift, 40 euro gift card. I said, okay, thanks. Shoes were 90, but I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get, I guess. And then I hit up Kicks,
Florida.
because they said usually you have to hit up the people you bought it from. I hit up Kicks and sent them pictures and everything too, and they sent me back a German automated email. So I said, all right, cool. I guess I'm gonna take my $40 and buy nothing because nothing's $40 on the Puma website. Maybe some hats, some golf hats or something.
Yeah, buy yourself a
Um,
t-shirt, son.
something. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, moving on now. Just a quick. I had seen it on my sneakers app today, and this is something we can go into more later. Maybe this weekend. Actually, we can go into it later. Um, but for Kicks Corner, I just wanted to mention, which I feel like we could talk about this for forever. So maybe we'll just do a quick thing now just to mention it, preview it a little bit, and then come back to it this weekend. The Dornbecker freestyles are coming out this Friday. And I think that's one of the coolest things that Nike does when they go to the children's hospital, correct? And it's in
Yep.
is it in Oregon?
Yeah, it's in Oregon.
Yeah, so they go to it's like the Dornbecker is the name of the hospital, right?
Yep. Correct.
So the Dornbecker Children's Hospital, and they go there and I don't know how they exactly do it, if they pick kids or if they just, I think I would guess that they would just give all the kids like a sneaker, say, hey, draw on this, design it. Cause I've seen them holding their drawings before. Draw on this what you would design on a sneaker for yourself, and then maybe they pick the best ones that they like the most. But I'm not sure how exactly they do it. Uh, but it's a pretty cool thing. These kids get to design their own sneakers, and they're always some pretty like wild, and crazy designs, but like some of the fan favorites. When you think of Dornbeckers, I think the first thing that most people would think of is the Dornbecker fours with the Superman logo on the tongue.
For sure.
At least that's the first shoe I think of. Uh,
Yeah,
but this
absolutely.
year I'm looking at it. They got some pretty cool designs. I don't know if you've looked at them yet. That's why I said I don't want to get too into it. I just want to maybe preview it now. People can maybe look it up, and then we can talk about it later. We can talk a little bit more in depth about it. Um, but they've got some Nike Cortez uh, done by Sydney. And then our boy Hugo did some Air Jordan 3s that are actually pretty. I think they're going to be pretty. I could see these being popular with like the younger crowd. They say on the back,
For sure.
they say juice, and they got the like slime on the side, like, and they say it's okay to be different on the bottom. I think they're pretty dope.
They got the
They
Seahawks colors. There's definitely gonna be a
uh,
Seahawks player rocking those.
there's gotta be, bro. There has to be.
My favorite one is Garrett's, bro. His are fire.
I was just about to say, and then they have these mountain flies that I love. I think they're sweet. Perfect shoe to do that on too, with like the mud splatter on the bottom and the
Yeah.
trees and stuff on like a hiking shoe. Those are sweet. Haley has some Air Max 186 that are pretty cool, all pink, some hearts. And then I also really like Chris's the fly eases that Chris has.
Yeah,
I like how
yeah,
he put like the design over the Nike swoosh and everything. Those are dope.
I agree.
And then the last one I think is this Dunk High from Macy. Nice little floral pattern. That's a good spring shoe. Um, but yeah, that's just a cool thing that they do. I know you have one pair, and then I really regret not getting the Zoom Vomeros that came out last year with the detachable Nike signs, and it came with a couple of different swooshes. One was like Fortnite inspired, and one was maybe like dragon or something like that. I mean, those were so sweet, and they were bright yellow and orange, and I loved them, and I wanted to get them, and then I was just like, nah, you don't need them, just in case you do win the drop. And then once people started to get them in hand, I think they started realizing how cool they were. And then now they've kind of been the one that's took off from last year's releases.
Yeah, I feel like they're
Um,
not as big as they used to be in general, which is I watched like a video about it. People were like talking about how it's kind of sad that it's not as big, especially with like the message that it comes from. So we can definitely
they,
talk more about like when it started and everything on over the weekend. But it's a really cool thing, like you said.
yeah. What's your favorite that you can think of?
Uh, that I can think of. Period. I really like the ones that I got.
I like those too, the camo ones.
Yeah, camo Air Max 270s, which was like a shoe that in the moment was super hot right now. Like it didn't age great, but like you still see a lot of people wearing 270s like just regularly.
Just
I feel like
chill.
people who aren't
They
yeah
yeah.
necessarily like super into sneakers or anything, but it was an easy slip on, slip off, pretty comfortable. Um, it has like a little. There's like camo with some gold, and then it said "Always Believe" on the outsole of it. It's pretty sweet. I like them. That's been shoot. It's been probably like 8 or 10 years old now. I feel like though.
Yeah. I think those also was it last year? I just saw these now. I was looking at some older releases just to kind of like remind myself I'm cheating a little bit because you don't have anything to look at. I really think these Vomeros from last year might be my favorite ones, but I mean the classics. If you haven't seen them, if you watch the show and you haven't seen them, just look up the Air Jordan 4 by Isaiah Scott. Maybe that'd be easier to spell than Dornbecker because you might not know how to spell it, but Isaiah Scott's pretty easy. But those Air Jordan 4s are like the classics. When you think of Dornbecker kicks, I feel like those are the ones I think of.
For sure.
I love how they're
Maybe we
like,
draft
yeah,
maybe we
maybe we could
draft
do that.
next or this weekend we draft our favorite ones of all time.
I love how each shoe looks like it's like a custom shoe that like a sneaker custom person would make. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
But
for
they
sure.
mass produce them.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool. Like that's the cool thing about it, honestly. It looks like they're like painted on by hand, each shoe kind of. And then this one from 2017 actually, for some reason I think it was like last year. The Air More Up Tempo where the kid put his like initials on the side. Those were sweet, I think. I remember when those came
yeah,
out.
that was
I just thought
sick.
it was like a different I just thought that was a different little detail that they added where they were
That's
at
kind of
like
elite to get
changed the
your
whole
initials
template.
on
Yeah,
a up tempo. That's kind of fire.
instead of
Yeah,
the air, that is pretty dope. But all right, brother, that's really about all I got for you today. I think we probably ran almost an hour still, I think, but
yeah.
maybe 50 minutes or something. But all right, I'm about to get to bed. I practice in the morning. It's almost
All right,
12:30
brother.
here, so I'll drop this tomorrow hopefully and yeah, get this week started on a good note. But all
Yes,
right,
sir.
drive safe, my
Peace.
man. Peace.
Thanks, brother.